Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. Arthur Davies has been found guilty on both counts brought against him in the death of one-year-old Parker Schumacher. This is the second trial for Davies, as last year's trial ended in a not guilty verdict for the charge of murder and a mistrial on the felony assault on a child causing death. Arthur Davies was the only person in the room when severe head trauma was inflicted on the one-year-old child. Davies' lawyer Zulu Ali argued that the head trauma was caused by an accidental fall from Davies' arms onto a linoleum floor. Arthur Davies' sentencing trial is set for December 20th. The Yucca Valley man injured and then arrested for allegedly attacking a family with a hammer is facing additional charges of attempted murder and burglary in addition to assault with a deadly weapon. Brian Hall, 42, was arrested on Saturday morning near the intersection of Red Bluff Avenue and Redondo Street in Yucca Valley. Witnesses say that Hall had been going from house to house starting Friday night, attempting to break into homes and threatening to use a hammer as a weapon. On Saturday morning, San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies say they responded to a report of assault with a deadly weapon in the area of Red Bluff Avenue and Redondo Street. Witnesses said that Hall smashed a window of a home and threatened the family inside of the home, which included a child. Deputies say one of the victims entered a car in the driveway of the home and Hall climbed on top of the car, hit it with a hammer, and then fell off the car, hitting his head on the asphalt. He was treated for injuries at a hospital, then arrested on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon, making criminal threats, and vandalism. He is being held on $60,000 bail. He is being arraigned in San Bernardino County Superior Court this morning on additional charges of attempted murder, burglary, 5 felony charges of making criminal threats, and vandalism with 7 enhancements for using a deadly weapon. Douglas Poston, the supervising district attorney with the county DA's Morongo Basin office, said, if convicted, Hall faces over 10 years in state prison. Hall was arrested for investigation into the murder of Stephen Stoneking in September, but was released by the county district attorney without any charges filed. A 35-room hotel calling itself The Landing is planned for a 5.7-acre lot off Belfield Road in Landers, and the developers behind the project had their first public meeting with residents on Monday night. Online news editor Robert Hayden was at the standing room only meeting and picks it up from here.
Belfield Hall was a packed house on Monday for a community meeting for residents to learn more about the planned hotel, restaurant, bar, market, spa, and observatory. Sam Friedman is one of the owners of the lot and says the hotel is planned to be a quiet one.
We want it to be a place for visitors, obviously, to enjoy the beauty of Landers, but also for a place for locals.
The development is planned for a 5.7-acre parcel of land near Belfield Boulevard and Ricci Road. It's commercially zoned, and the group says in the last year the project has been picking up steam with the county as far as permitting goes. While detailing the plan, many of the features were framed as being built for the community, such as the planned market, where they say goods will be priced with locals in mind.
As a landlord, I drive into Yucca Valley a lot, and I know how exhausting that is for a lot of people here. We want to provide grocery to the community.
Landers resident John told the group that they didn't fully understand the community and what they wanted, citing the fact that many residents in the Landers area live below the poverty line.
For people that say they live here, you don't seem to understand this is a place that has very low income. So when you guys are talking about a supermarket, I'm some place that has specialty items. It's for, basically a playground for the rich, and it's not some place that people like us can go to and enjoy.
We're thinking like $2 coffee, bagels, which are $3, ice cream, which is $3. Wait and see, and I guarantee you the market is going to be a worthy spot. It's not going to be fancy.
Typically in these community meetings, which aren't a requirement from the county, the audience isn't shy about letting developers know their lack of support for a project. In Monday's case, it wasn't as clear of a distinction. After a fairly even-handed Q&A period, Chris Gubler of Gubler's Orchids spent several minutes telling the crowd that he was in support of the project.
Whether we can afford to stay there or not, it's their risk. And I just want to tell the group that, I've been looking at this and listening, and I support the project. It conforms to the law. They bought that land, and they can build on that land, and we have that right to build on that land.
With that, the Q&A period ended, but not before longtime Landers resident Judy LaFoon challenged some in the audience to show their bona fides just as they did to the developers.
It was brought up that seen you before today.
That's funny, because I'm here all the time. I'm here all the time. Have you been to the Historical Society? Have you been to the thrift store?
We'll have a link and more information on the development at this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
A 17-year-old girl who was considered missing has returned home. Jenna Tipton was reported missing in Landers on Friday night. Nonprofit group The Rad Movement has confirmed that the teen is home safe. At last night's meeting of the Yucca Valley Town Council, appointments were made to the town's youth council. 26 7th through 12th graders were appointed. The board also received a year-end budget report revealing a significant windfall for the town. Here's Adeline J. Wells with more.
The town had an excess of roughly $4 million in revenues over expenditures for the year. This is in part due to higher than expected revenues from property taxes and short-term vacation rentals. The council voted to allocate $500,000 of the excess towards vehicle and equipment replacement, with the remainder going to the town's capital reserves. Town staff provided the first quarterly update on the Aquatics and Recreation Center. Construction is moving forward, with the next phase to focus on underground infrastructure and earthwork. The project is anticipated to be completed by June 2026. This was followed by an update on the High Desert Nature Museum. The museum recently updated its logo in honor of its 60th year in operation. The council voted in favor of a resolution amending the budget and awarding the construction bid for Phase 2 of the Yucca Valley Senior Center Modernization Project. Phase 2 includes renovating the staff offices, the reception area, and restrooms to be ADA compliant, as well as adding landscaping and updating the building's exterior. Construction is expected to be completed by August 2025. The council agreed that the town needs to sufficiently organize meals and programs for seniors at the community center while the senior center undergoes renovations. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
The 29 Palms Planning Commission held their monthly meeting last night. With more on that story, here's reporter Annalise Kuiper.
First item of discussion concerned the property at 56756 Homestead Road and whether to declare it a public nuisance and dangerous building. The structure is seriously dilapidated and the property is used as a dump site. With a unanimous 5-0 vote, the Planning Commission decided to order the property owner, Galvan Rosalina, to either obtain a demolition permit from the Building and Safety Department within 20 days to begin demolition within 45 days, or submit plans for reconstruction and obtain a permit and begin reconstruction within the same time constraints. If the owner does not comply, the city will begin demolition and a lien will be placed upon the property. The second point referred to the deferment of underground utilities by the Reset Hotel located at 7000 Split Rock Avenue in 29 Palms. The deferment would affect the lines coming from the main power pole off-site to connect with the lines on the property, which are already underground. A decision was made unanimously to defer this matter until the meeting on Tuesday, December 17th, when the developer would be required to attend and answer the questions which arose. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
The Morongo Valley Community Services District Board of Directors will meet tonight in regular session at 6 p.m. in Covington Park's multipurpose room. On the agenda is the specifics of upcoming events like the tree lighting ceremony and a community cleanup day in January. Reporter Gabriel Hart has a look at the rest of tonight's agenda.
Carl Stogner of the Morongo Valley Youth Softball League has assumed additional responsibilities within the district, including managing facility rentals, cleaning rooms, and assisting renters. The board will review, discuss, and approve an additional stipend for Stogner. The board will discuss and appoint a Board of Supervisors ad hoc committee to address certain issues or tasks assigned by the Board of Directors. The fire department needs a portable car battery charger, which will significantly enhance the department's ability to respond to certain incidents, and will be looking to the board to approve this purchase. The board will also discuss the Community Risk Reduction Program, focusing on fire prevention, emergency preparation, and public education. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Gabriel Hart.
Later today, Yucca Valley's High Desert Water District and Joshua Tree's Joshua Basin Water District will each hold their last meeting before the Thanksgiving holiday. The Yucca Valley meeting begins at 4:30 p.m. The gavel comes down at 5:30 p.m. in Joshua Tree. Here's reporter Mike Lipsitz with your Wednesday Water Roundup.
Directors at the High Desert Water District are expected to authorize hiring of an outside firm to calculate a charge for Phase 2 customers to recover the cost of the water reclamation facility. Today's meeting takes place at the district office on the highway at Inca Trail. And down the highway in Joshua Tree, the Joshua Basin Water District will review the 2023-24 audited financial statements and likely approve some reserve fund transfers. That meeting takes place at the district office on Choita Road in Joshua Tree. See this story at Z107.7fm.com for links to both agendas, including instructions for remote attendance. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Mike Lipsitz.
And finally, the Yucca Valley High School Lady Trojan basketball team opened the season on the wrong end of a 69-18 score last night in a first-round game against the Roosevelt Mustangs at the Riverside Poly High School tournament. The team looks to bounce back tomorrow. Tip-off is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmatz.